What's up, lovelies? Megs here from DTC. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my barrier repair moisturizer. This product has absolutely changed my life. It has a 6 to 12 month shelf life, so it's really cool if you're looking for a permanent solution for very dull, very dehydrated skin. So first we're going to start with distilled water. This is the base for our product. And then we're going to go in with some glycerine. This next ingredient is really lovely and I feel like it has so many benefits for your skin. It is a little bit more on the pricey side out of all of the ingredients, but I really wanted to add this for the skin benefits. Now we're going to give the water phase mix a stir and set it aside. We will be using a different container for the oil phase. So this ingredient has become quite popular and understandably so. It's a very nice ingredient with regards to hydration. MCT oil locks in moisture and it also soothes redness, so it's a really nice ingredient to add if you have very sensitive, very irritated skin. Next we move on to Vigorol. This is our emulsifier, so it basically turns it into a cream and causes for a reaction to happen between the liquids. Vitamin E is really nice to add to skincare products as well because of the benefits. Now we're going to combine the oil phase ingredients. If you're struggling to combine them, it's not a train smash. It will melt and everything will combine when it's being heated up in the water bath. So I actually ended up using a bigger bowl for my water phase just because of the fact that the oil phase will be poured into that, and we're going to need to use a stick blender, so you need to have some room for splashing around. Now you're going to take that off heat and you are going to pour your second mixture into your first while using your stick blender. This is where the magic happens. You want to try and blend that for about 3 minutes just to make sure that everything is properly integrated. And also, as it cools down, you want to just stir it occasionally as well, just to make sure that nothing crystallizes. Now you're going to set that aside and you're going to let it cool down below 40 degrees Celsius, and you are going to prepare your actives separately. Niacinamide is great for brightening your skin. So the reason you'll see my measurements are a little bit off is because here I was making a double batch. I had a order from a customer and I needed some for myself as well because I was running out. So yes, the measurements are correct on the right hand window. You'll see them. Panthenol is really amazing as well for just soothing your skin, especially if it's irritable, red. GeoGuard, this is our preservative that we are using. It's a really gentle preservative and it has been eco-certified. This will make the product last about 6 to 12 months depending on how it's stored. I normally store them in vacuum sealed bottles so that the shelf life is extended. This is just to stabilize your mix, disodium. And now we're just going to rehydrate the actives, basically make sure that they're all mixed in before we put them into our cooling down mix. You need to make sure that this mix is below 40 degrees, otherwise the actives might actually get hurt and they won't perform the way that you need them to. Now I'm just adding in the preservative last. And we are blending. Now you want to test that pH level. Make sure that your pH level is correct. Otherwise your product will not perform the way you need it to. It needs to be between 5.0 and 5.5. So mine was sitting at about 3.8 pH. I needed to get it a little bit higher. I just made a 10% citric acid solution. So I used about 0.1 grams of bicarbonate of soda and 10 mils of water to try and get a mix just to raise that pH a little bit. I think in the end I managed to get it to 5.1 pH. This was good enough for me and I was happy. When you add this to your solution, you want to make sure that you're doing it bit by bit and you are not rushing the process. If you rush the process, you'll see that it will start bubbling and frothing and it might actually change the consistency of your lotion. So this is also a good pH for the preservative to perform nicely. It's very important that you put this into a airless pump bottle or an opaque bottle. Just make sure that it's not in direct contact with sunlight, because of the fact that some of these ingredients could degrade over time if it is exposed to sunlight. You can see that I'm not wasting a drop of this. Enjoy!